Hi everyone, I'm EMS Medic 1. First I'd like to give credit to Craig Pugh for showing me how to make this wine. This is the homemade wine, and the reason I'm doing a video of it is because I'm a first time brewer, and this is actually my third time doing this. My first one came out not so good. So I'd like to share some tips about how to do it right and not end up with a bad brew. So I have everything that I need here. This is a 1 gallon carboy that I put the juice. This is a cranberry Concord grape juice that I pour in. All the bubbles is from the Star San. Okay, Star San is a sanitizer, instant sanitizer. They say it's okay to have bubbles, so I think it will be fine. Alright, so I already poured the juice in the carboy. There's nothing else in the juice. Here I'm actually heating up a little bit of the juice to 100 degrees so that I can start. I put a teaspoon of sugar to get the yeast started. So that's what we're going to do right now. Okay. Where the yeast is. The yeast actually says 1 pack can make up 5 gallons, but I did the whole pack. I see other people did the whole pack, and it seems to be fine. My second batch that came out actually came out good, and I used the whole pack. I think the whole pack will be fine. They said the yeast, to start it up, you want to be between 100 degrees to 110 degrees. So I'm just stirring it up a little bit. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then later it will start to bubble. I have it soak in hot water to heat up the juice. Kind of like the way we heat up sake. It seems like it's all blended. And then now we're just going to let it sit and then let it raise. Actually, I'm going to take it out of the hot water. I'll just put it right here. Alright? Alright, so now that we have the yeast done, first, I like to try to measure the juice without, this is going to show us how much alcohol content, predicted alcohol, approximate alcohol content is going to be. So this is without any sugar, and the way to use this is you pour your juice before fermenting, and then it will start to float. Once it starts to float, then you know you have enough in there to test. There you go. See the float? There. Then people says you give it a twist. Yep. Looks like a lot of bubble from the Star San. You can get rid of the bubble a little bit. Oops. Okay, I kind of got rid of the bubble a little bit. Trying to kind of see where this is going to be at initially before any sugar is added. See if you can get this close up. Right around here. Thing is by the orange. That's the starting point. About 100. Actually, right at about 50, I think, right here. That's about 50. Yeah, 40. See the 40 in orange? And it's about 50. So we'll remember 50. Okay. Gonna take this out. And then we're gonna pour the juice in. By the way, I already sanitized all these equipment with Star San. On my first batch, I didn't have the Star San. And I think that's probably one of the reasons why it came out bad. So it is very important to sanitize all your equipment. Okay, so we're gonna put all these juice inside, and I'm gonna go get a paper towel real quick. Just kind of dry this so that we can pour in the sugar. So I'm going to pour in 2 cups of sugar. Two cups of sugar. Doesn't have to be perfect. 2 cups. And pour it all in here. Okay, all the sugars are in. Now we're going to try to shake it. We're going to try to shake this and get all the sugar mixed up and get oxygenated. That's what they say. According to the video, Craig 2 video, we can make it in the original container so that you don't have to worry about sanitizing these containers or purchase extra containers. However, because these caps didn't fit my airlock, it's a different size cap on my other airlock cap, so I just decided to instead of making another airlock with that cap, to just use a cardboard container that I have. The only problem is just that you're gonna have to sanitize the cardboard, and I think you get a little more room in there that could possibly expose the oxygen. So they say you need to shake this for about 4 to 5 minutes. I'm not going to shake it 4 to 5 minutes. I've done it before and I didn't have to shake it for 4 to 5 minutes. As long as you know the sugar is dissolved at the bottom, like you don't see sugar on the bottom here, then we should be good. All right. So now we're going to test it again to see how much alcohol content is this going to be. Alright, so same drill. We're going to put it in until it starts to float. Then we'll know that it's working. There you go, it's floating. Awesome. Then we're gonna give it a little twist. That's the star stand that I'm standardizing it. Alright, we're gonna try to move this a little bit. See if we can see the red. Right about the red, right about there. Alright, so with the red, this is at 1.1. 1.1. So it says the alcohol content is approximately 15%. If you want more alcohol, you could add more sugar in, and if your yeast can stand that much alcohol without dying, then it should produce that much alcohol. Alright, now we pour this back in, and then pour it into the cardboard. Alright. Okay, let's try to shake it up a little bit more. Kind of mixing it a little bit. Alright, now this I actually bought. This is the yeast nutrient. Okay, it's very cheap, like $5-6 for a bag. It says 1 to 1.5 teaspoons per gallon. So the yeast nutrient, Craig Tube will show you how to make it. If you don't want to buy it, he uses raisin and date, I think, and then he cooks it up and squeeze the juice out of it, and then dump it inside into the wine as yeast nutrient. I figure if I was gonna buy anything, I just might as well buy the nutrient. It'll save me time, and I don't have to go and buy raisins and date and cook it up and heat and all that stuff. All right. Is it necessary? Personally, I can't say it's definitely necessary, but I really, based on this is the third batch that I made, I think it's best to have it. So I really strongly suggest you to get a nutrient or to make a nutrient for it. I put 1 teaspoon. This is 1 teaspoon. Okay, 1 teaspoon of nutrient. Let's see. Okay, wipe it a little bit. Yes. Put this right here. Close it later. Yeast nutrient. Shake it up a little bit. All these are done before the yeast. The yeast will be added last. Okay? There you go. Alrighty. Now, with the yeast, They said that it should raise to be like all bubbles, a lot of bubbles, and they feed it in with a spoon. I don't really think it's my last batch that I made that came out good. I didn't have to do that, and I didn't have to wait until it all gets started. I think there's saying this is supposed to activate it. I didn't really have to wait all that to get activated, so I'm just gonna do it like this, and you just pour it in. Okay, now that we have all that poured in, so I'm pretty sure we added everything that we needed to add. Shake it a little bit again. Okay. By the way, the Star San stuff, all that is reusable as long as you didn't contaminate it with any juice. But I'm not gonna reuse it. Some people they reuse it. I'm not, so I'm just gonna later I'm gonna dump it out. So I'm just cleaning whatever that's has the juice, just to kind of clean it. Okay, so here's that. I think we added everything we needed to add. Okay. One more paper towel. Doesn't seem like sitting there very well. Probably because it's wet. So I'm just kind of drying it. Actually, my first time using the carboy, so. It looks like there it is. Alright. So this is the airlock. So it just came out of the Star San. Just gonna plug in here. Airlock is very cheap. If you can get it in the brew store, probably about $1 to $2 a piece, or a couple cents for just the plastic piece up here. You can order online. They come in 3 or 6. There's a little cap in here somewhere. There you go. This cap has got holes in it. So what the airlock does is it actually provides not allowing anything to go back in, only the CO2 to come out. Alright? So they said that you can, instead of using water, which I've done in the past, if you use regular water, drinking water, it should be fine. But if you, with something with the airlock is if you kind of, sometimes it'll, seems like it will suck in, like, it will suck into the water, into the juice, and that will kind of contaminate the water. So someone suggested that you can actually use a little vodka. So if you put vodka in it, and even if it sucks it in, you just have a little more extra alcohol. So this time I'm actually going to try with vodka. Alright? There's actually 2 lines here. 2 lines here. It will balance out once you add it in. And then when this starts to actually ferment, you'll see it pushed all the way here. I'll show you on the other one that I'm actually doing after we finish this. Okay, so now that we poured in the vodka, I think that's enough. It doesn't really need a lot. Going back into the bottle. All right. Now we just put this cap in. Is it important to have the cap? I don't know. I put it back in since it was there. Well, I think we're all done. Now we just put this in a nice cool place. Wait for about, my last one I waited for about 10 days. On the internet some says 8 to 11. I waited 10 days and it was done. In a probably next couple hours it will start to ferment really quickly. And I have another video that I actually show what happens when it starts to ferment. You'll actually start, looks like it will sizzle in here, and then this bubble will start going bloop, 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 bloop. Initially it will be very quick, bloop, 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 bloop. And as time goes by, it will be more slower and more slower and slower until eventually when the fermentation is done, it will stop, right? So the main thing is that I want to share with you is that one, you always have a sanitizing agent. Star San seems to be rated the best. It instantly sanitizes everything. Having the nutrient, I think it's very important to have the nutrient based on my previous experience. As far as yeast, as long as you can research a little on the yeast. Some people says this particular Red Star on the red bag tend to cause bad fermentation, but some places says it never happens to them. So I guess with the yeast is more of your own preference. Some people just use bread yeast, but based on my understanding, bread yeast does not stand that much alcohol content. They probably die around like 4 or 5%. This actually can go up to about, I think this one can go up to about 13% alcohol content before it will start to die. Basically the alcohol kills it, I think, or shuts it down. This is nice to have. You don't have to have it. That's not important. And one more thing I want to tell you, that when it starts to ferment, you can actually smell the fermentation. With the fermentation, it actually, if you have a good batch, the fermentation should not smell bad. It would just kind of smell like almost like juice, I think. Kind of like maybe a little bit of vinegar juice kind of smell instead of a bad sulfur smell, or some people say rotten egg smell. At least that's what I feel about that. So when it's done, I'll put up another video and show you guys the tasting and kind of give you an idea of what it's supposed to taste like, because I've seen a lot of people do the tasting and then all they say is, wow, it tastes good. It tastes good, but they actually don't tell you exactly what it's supposed to taste like. And being a first timer, how can you tell that if you made a good one or a bad one, you know? So that's what we're gonna do when it's done. We're gonna do a taste video, and I'll see you guys then. Thank you for watching.